There we go. I don't see anything.
Oh, I gotta reset
There we
it.
go.
I had to reset it.
Got to reset it. Am I actually on? Can they hear me?
No, you're on and they can hear you.
Oh, wow. Hello, everybody. But we started exactly on time. Notice it's not me that's causing us to be late. Just want to put that out there. Not going to name any names, though.
That's great.
So, hello, everybody. So, how many people are actually here? Did we end up with a count? We make more than 10?
Right now, right now we're at 24, but
Cool.
let me check
That's a
and
start.
see on our actual dashboard.
Well, it's Terrain Tuesday. I'm Ed Pugh here, president here at Reaper. And today is December 24th, Christmas Eve. So, Merry Christmas to all y'all. And it's a ghost town around here. We were talking about that on the way up. How just there is literally no one here. What would you say? What would you say we have down there? I got one in the store. There's no one in internet. There's no one in maybe three or four people here. There's more customers in the store than there are people in this building.
It's basically
creepy.
Cass, Ron, and Kevin and us, the two of us.
Yeah,
and
we're all upstairs.
And we're all upstairs, correct.
Yeah, you walk around down there, it's just sort of weird not to see all of those people and everything in motion.
Yeah,
maybe I ought to put a camera on there. It's spooky. So anyway, for anybody that's here for the first time, welcome here. What we're doing is we're building a trebuchet. Do you have your picture queued up?
I will do that, but hold on real quick before we really dive into this.
Okay.
The giveaway today.
Oh, yeah.
Well, not a giveaway yet.
Right.
But you want to pick up the box there and show them? Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
Show it to them. The paint set
Feeling
number 5.
A little light there.
So for every, well, that's a
because it hasn't been released yet.
It's
but
a
we have
display
pre-production
model,
on it.
But yes, we do. So those haven't been released yet. But every 10 subs, we will give away one of them. So, and that's resubs, that is gifted subs, that's literally any kind of subs. In fact, I noticed before the stream started that Devask, she subbed, whoever. I'm going to go ahead and count that towards it. So you need 9 more to unlock the first giveaway.
Start this thing going.
Yeah. So now we are good to go, Ed. And
Kendola, where do you work? I mean, if you're the only manager that got off, does that mean it's going to be okay when you go back? You won't be like taken into the little room and punched in the dark?
Okay, Bug Lips. Hey, calm down. We just started. We just started, Bug Lips.
Yeah, still got it. You got an hour plus to go. All right. I think just Bug Lips wants to make sure his name's in there.
He does. Thank you, Bug Lips.
Thank you very much,
awesome.
Bug Lips. All right, so I was getting ready to sit back and start watching, and I'm the one that's supposed to be doing it.
Yeah, I'm gonna get
my wallet during bones.
I'm gonna get the giveaway actually set up now, since I didn't expect to hit it this fast.
Okay. So anyway, what we're doing is a trebuchet. Give me the small camera.
Okay.
Since you don't have the cue and you're working. I'll put this. This is what we're working on. I'll have to show it in 2 segments. It's a big medieval war engine. They would hurl ammo 300-400 yards, weighing several hundred pounds, so it would knock down walls in no matter of time. So what we've constructed so far is the base. We're working on the tower now, and we've got its wings. So really we're working on the tower, and today what we're going to do is actually this part up here. Because we decided after we started that we want to go ahead and at least try and throw chocolate kisses out of this thing, we have to make sure the geometry's right. So I'm going to show you how that we're going to effectively do that and keep it straight. Now this is the part here that we're going to be drilling. This would approximately right here on this is going to be right about here on this, in that area. So in this drawing here, they've added, just additional support because you want the axle this is riding on to be as fully supported as possible. But I'm going to have to insert it as one piece from this side and come through to be able to get it to go. And so we're going to go through that. So what we're going to basically do to start off with is we're going to drill these 2 and get them lined up. Then that gives us a starting point for when we add these supports in, so we already have a hole to go through and that we have our geometry right. And so we're still going to drill, bat, and stuff like that. That's sort of the second part. The first part is we're going to take a step back and finish up our support structure, which happens to be these long parts here that come up. But since this one is going to cover that, I figured instead of originally what I thought would be number 2, we're going to go ahead and get this part done out of the way. That way these can cover that up. Now for the axle itself that it's going to ride on, we're going to go back to Plastistruck. And as I said, if you don't plan on ever using this thing, you can just get it in there, tack it and pin it and go and leave it in a position, do whatever you want to do. But since we need it to move, the best axle for us is simply going to be one where the arm itself is riding on this tube in the center, and then each side, these larger tubes, it's where it's nested. So we'll have a large tube on this side, a large tube on this side, and then the actual beam riding here in the center, kind of a thing. And that way it gives it plenty of support. It's loose, it's smooth enough, it'll be very, very friction free, but it's also loose enough I shouldn't have to put graphite or oil or anything else in there. And for hurling chocolate kisses with a few ounces of ballast, it shouldn't tear it up. So,
real quick.
yes, sir.
Before you really get in there, I have the pictures ready, so if you want me to show it to you, I can.
Yeah, if you want to, go ahead and get the.
All right. I don't know which
one so they can see the whole thing.
I'm not sure. Is this the one you want up?
Yes, that one there. Well, that's what we were just looking at, but now you can sort of see it in its whole. And in that bottom left area, that's the people that are operating it. And I have a Sir 4 scale. There he is.
Holy crap! These you're not seeing this over here probably.
No, I haven't. I'm not looking there.
We're already at 23 subs.
Wow. Well, that's
yeah,
sort of like they must
bombed.
These are actually not even in, they're not released yet. So these will be pre-production pieces sitting out. I don't remember, didn't go into the room, so I don't know when they come out today or when they come out. They won't be today or soon. But you'll get yours. He'll ship them. When do you think he'll ship these?
These will probably ship Monday when I get back.
Okay.
Unless I can get Collins to ship them.
That works.
They will ship them.
He's not going to be back till Monday either because he's out.
Correct. He actually has the flu, guys. Collins has the flu.
Yeah. Probably gave his all to us.
Also, and I realized I made a last minute decision on this as well, since we haven't really counted this. If you go into tier 2 or tier 3 subs, I'm going to count that as multiple based on the number of increments of $5 that the sub costs. So, thank you, Planet Crossroads. Your sub cost is worth 2.
Trying to get a.
And thank you, Bug Lips, for gifting Candelo a sub.
So, to get an idea of the scale that we're dealing with, this is Sir 4 scale from his back side, from the rear. Somebody's got him painted blue on the front. I guess he's going to go ultramarine on us. So, right there, you can see that. And if you look in the picture, that's about what we're dealing with in the overall context of the whole piece. So, all of that stuff out of the way, let's go in and start the process. So, what I went and dug these out of the tool chest, are some various drill bits. We're not going to chuck them up, put them in an electric drill, we're just going to use our fingers. But nonetheless, this one right here matches what we're going to put as the final axle. So it's slightly larger, giving us a little bit of adjustment so we can get it set. And then we'll put across there one long piece of this, the inner tube, just so we'll cut it off and it'll go the whole length. And that way it gives us something to dry and keeps it straight and in alignment while we're putzing off with other stuff. But before we cut those, we've got to get some holes going. So what I found is doing this kind of a thing is I'll just pick my point randomly, but if we want to, we can be scientific and use a piece of wood. Let me look at the picture here. So I'm wanting to go down, it looks like the width, sort of like in that area there, is where I would want to try and get my initial hole, which I marked something, but it was on this side. So that's pretty close. So that's sort of where we're going in. And oh yeah, if we can get a little bit more on it. Oh yeah, the magic of technology when it works. Yeah. So anyway, that's about this far from the top part is where we're going to want to go, which you sort of had that, and that'll give me something to center on. And with the trebuchet, one of the hard, we talked about this last time, is keeping the whole thing in alignment and working, is because you're not allowed to, you can't connect this top part. So that's what all of this lower structure here is for, including the additional ones, is this part here is just completely open. And you have to have it so that everything will operate and move through that area. So now we need to pick the beam. And
thank you for those gifted subs, by the way. For everyone who's gifting subs.
Might have to hobble together some pieces here. I don't know if I have any long stuff. Let me look in my box of doom here. They've been starting to use my box as a trash box in here. I don't know if that's on purpose or what.
We would never do that on purpose.
Yeah,
never.
I know. Hey, I work here. I know how much we respect everybody else's stuff. No. Not said by anyone here. Wait, there was some. No. Fooled me. All right, so if we're going to go and we have to build a beam, we need a beam. The beam is the throwing beam itself proper, this part here. So I need to know that to know how much I'm going to come in. But I can go ahead and build my holes. Let's get that part out of the way. So if my beam is going to be, looks to be 1.5 of this. So, like so. That would work. And as you can see here, it comes out. What happens here is, I've said this before, but in case you're new, what we're going to do here is there's 2 pieces of wood to make this beam. And what is going on is it's sort of like a sword or anything to, it's like a bundle of arrows, I guess is what I'm trying to do. If you took one piece there and went on it, you have a chance of snapping. By adding a whole second piece under this wood, you're getting the ability to provide more of a flex to it as it's going, and they're supporting each other. So that comes up from the bottom all the way up to, it appears to be almost its entire length, 3/4 of its length. So if I have that and that, that'll help make us what we got to do. What you got, huh?
Asmodeus Soulpire said, speaking of hard work, Justin, does Ed ever admit that you were right and we wanted to see all of the details of the build?
No, I've never. Yes, actually, yes. I was shocked, honestly. But the first thing is Justin texted me because we didn't even know he was watching, and all of a sudden I get this text saying, "See, I told you," or "I told you so." So yeah, he didn't waste any time.
I wasted no time.
Yeah,
but it's great. We have fun.
So now, and it's also obviously going to have to taper. So I guess actually today we sort of got to start with a beam, at least the rough of the beam, and it is about. The beam is about the length of, let's see, it goes from there to there. So I'm sort of visualizing here real quick because we can't be bothered to actually have to measure anything. So right about there.
Oh, that's reasonable. Alba Vazen. Mocha is really cool. So her being your favorite is not a knock at us. We really appreciate it. She is.
She's always has a smile and laughs. It's very infectious.
Yeah, her energy is insane.
Yeah. If she ran this whole planet, it'd be a fun place.
I agree.
And if Bobby ran it, Bobby Jackson, it'd be very organized. But you'd also have to be looking over your shoulder all the time. All right. So I'm saying that the whole beam that we're going to go with is this long. So I'm only going to come up short there a little bit. And in turn, we're not going to final dress it. So I'm going to say we're going to mark our hole right about, it should be in the center, but I'm going to be lazy about it. I'm going to go right here. But it doesn't give me any meat. So, but I really have no choice. It's the hard way. Yeah, seeing it all, I mean, I don't mind doing it all. There's just so much I want to get to. I'm trying to now decide how far in. I really don't have that. I have this as I picked up somewhere as a geometry. So as you can see here, it's not coming in very, very much off of that for the end, but where the axle is, or that for the pivot point. So if my pivot point's right here, I would have to say my axle point would have to be here. And then this shows to be pretty much the length, you can't see that, of the beam will be from here. If I was to lay the beam flat, it would run from here to about here. So what I did was simply go in and take this piece here, which will actually be the length of the beam. As you can see, no you can't. Well, now you can there. It's at a weird angle. Trust me on it, right? That's what they always say. So this is our throwing beam length. But now I have to get our throwing beam width done. And you can see here, honestly, I didn't even notice that. In this one here, you'll see the 2 pieces of wood there and how this tapers up and disappears. So we could actually build it like that, I guess, and be a little bit more accurate and probably a little bit more to scale. Yeah, less mass. We'll do that then. So if I want to taper this piece, I need to go ahead and mark that. So if this is my ballast, this right here will be my pivot, and then my taper would start somewhere in here. and probably run to around here. So he's going to do something. Oh yeah, that's a neat idea. Put it up on a. We're going to change the camera here real quick.
Close your eyes. Don't get sick.
Oh wow. Dang. Damn. This is like being on the Death Star where everything works and we're still not building it. All right.
Some scrubby nerfer is just going to blow it up anyway.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we get our few moments of fame and fortune. So that'll be what I'm going to go with right there. So that's our ballast box. That's our pivot. This is where our transition will come into, and our transition will end somewhere right about here. So it'll effectively be, like that. So now this brings in a unique way of doing this too, which I hadn't pre-thought of, is we'll have to actually cut our holes out as opposed to drill them. Although, let me see how this stuff drills. There's another idea too. We start off with, the way we'll be doing it, if we can get organized enough to get us there, is we go through, and if we can find a drill bit that'll actually cut. That's why I grabbed so many of them. This is out of a box of a bunch of junk ones. Oh, this one's catching me there.
Also,
so you can see here, that's pretty much what we'll be doing is that part there. And we'll just up it up. We'll take with a smaller one, then we'll go to a larger. So if that's the case, yes, sir, what were you going to say?
the hashtag free is open, just so people are aware, and we are 2 subs away, or a tier 2 sub or 3 away from a 3rd paint set.
Oh, cool. Oh, wow, that was fast.
Just as an update. Yeah, we're already at 3. I mean, people are, it's the season of
everybody
giving.
Can see my table. Can anybody see where my scalpel is?
Yeah, everyone,
There we go.
I spy Ed's scalpel.
There we
Just
go.
if
There
you
we
see
go.
it, let us know.
There it is, right there. Now, I've got a choice here. I can take the time to slice this off, or I can redraw my lines. I think I'll just redraw my lines. All right, there we go.
Well, that's really cool of you, Bug Lips. He doesn't even want the paint, by the way. He's already got enough.
Oh, wow.
So he
passed
gifted
it
a
on,
bunch
so
of
he's-
subs so that people could, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That is really cool. Thank you, Coffee. That's now we're at 30
By
subs.
the way, Bug Lips, we are getting ready to have that T-shirt made here very soon. We're changing up our booth display. Come across there. It shows. And so we'll be selling a lot of T-shirts there. All right. All right, so what we're going to do, I don't have a proper clamp.
That's a good idea, Danny. Just, well, you go ahead and paint and make it look awesome while Ed just kind of blunders his way through his trebuchet here.
Man, that sounds like an incredible thing. But I did, it's fun. I thought about, like I said, last week we took a poll about skipping the show. That came up, but really I enjoy getting up here and just getting lost in it. It beats what I was doing earlier all day, which is a bunch of emails.
That's true. You know, as a point, one of the main reasons Ed actually wanted to do some work offline on the trebuchet wasn't just to speed up some of the extra stuff, but because he is chomping at the bit to build this thing.
Yeah, just to get
He's,
away. It gives me an excuse to come upstairs and disappear so that everybody can go, well, we thought you'd left. We couldn't find you. So we went ahead and pushed that big red button.
I do feel like this is one of the things that sets this company aside from others is how much we actually enjoy our products and the things that we do in the hobby. Aside from, you know, I'm not saying people in other companies can't love it and enjoy it. It's just we particularly do here.
I think there's a lot of companies out there. It's also relative. Enjoying a job is really just your own brain. I'll tell people the best job I ever had outside of Reaper was as a dishwasher at a Mexican food restaurant. And because you knew exactly where you were, how much you had to do before you went home. Now I'm going to throw some pins in here purely. Oh, okay. There it is. Just to hold this thing together since we don't have actual clamps. So I'm going to assume, since we're this late of the day and this late a time towards Christmas, everybody here is ready for Christmas.
Yeah, I imagine everyone here is probably watching this in PJs and they're ready for Christmas. Or
Sitting around drinking hot chocolate.
Absolutely.
Although all these days today, I was like, you know, when are we going to finally get a decent day where I can go outside? Well, it's today. It's like 75 outside. The sun's, I was like, oh my God. All right.
Thank you, John. Look, John gifted subs. That's great, John. Thank you. That puts us 5 subs away from a 4th paint set, as well as, Ed, we just crossed the threshold into 3 digits.
Oh, wow.
So we actually have over 100 people now wanting to watch you build this trebuchet.
Wow.
Well, build
Word
in
travels
quotations.
Build, yeah. That's true. Yeah, in quotations. Should have known better. But at least now you can see more of what I'm doing here, too, with that raising it up. Brilliant idea. So, Justin, are y'all staying at home, or you got family to go and do, or what's y'all's plan?
Actually, as soon as the show is over, we're going to drop off our dog here that's actually in the room with us to go visit with Uncle Collins for the next 5 days. And then once...
but just do it from the street, right?
Yeah,
Make him come out and get the...
absolutely, with a face mask on. And then we're actually headed out to my parents' house tonight for Christmas Eve. And then tomorrow is normal Christmas with my grandmother and my side of the family this year. And then as soon as that Christmas is over, we're basically on the road to New Mexico.
And in New Mexico is?
New Mexico?
Right. Well.
Skiing.
I haven't heard the future Mrs.
Oh, you know what?
Family. You know, I mean, I don't want to drop a name here and call it straight out.
What are we doing, babe? You can speak up. They can hear you.
Can they hear me?
They can hear you.
We're going skiing.
Yes, we are.
Oh, that's what's
skiing.
for the Christmas.
Justin's going skiing. I'm snowboarding because I'm awesome.
Okay. She seems to
Snowboarding or
think
tubing.
that...
I would almost do tubing too.
Yeah.
I haven't done it, but
actually, tubing on the snow slopes is a lot of fun. I've only done it one time, but it was a blast.
I mean, when I was a kid, you know, we'd ski, go to the lake or whatever, you're going to ski. But when I discovered tubing, oh my God, y'all can mess with that all day. Just drag me around this lake.
Yeah, everyone is going on in chat about the dog. They want to see the dog now.
Oh, get her up
So,
here.
look at that.
Get her up
As soon as we talk about a dog, and then it's like, dog, no trebuchet. We don't want the trebuchet.
here. Yeah, really, I'm with you there. Well, can you get a camera on? Or hold him up here. Or give us a story.
You want to tell how we got it?
Yeah.
No.
No? Okay. Well, there was a knock on the door, and they came out, and there was a little basket. And inside this basket was this little T90 puppy. And they said, oh, we've got to take her in. And then they fed her a lot.
Can you move the camera, baby?
I will.
She's not going to sit there.
You sure? She would. No,
No.
she hopped out.
No. Why don't you just take the camera and point it at her?
Okay. Let me do that. See if I can...
Switch it over and just point it at her real quick. I'll do some secret cutting that no one knows.
You do some secret
Oh,
cutting.
I'm not going to be in this.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. She loves me. We need to take a sandwich.
I don't think she cares. Yeah, there you go. Keep her occupied. Keep her right there.
Keep it there.
Let me see if this camera is...
It's going to do it. It's going to do it.
Oh, there it is.
There.
Here.
Just left it a door.
You guys want to see a trick?
All right. Oh, good. It's her. I thought you were going to get me to do a trick.
So there she is. All right, I'm going to take you back to Ed now.
I don't know. She seemed a little bit more entertaining.
I don't know. People love puppies, but...
So what I'm doing here, so you can see, is I'm just going to roughly cut out the transition. Because before I invest all the time into the drilling and all this other stuff, first the glue's got to dry anyway. I want to make sure that we have something workable here and I don't split it or we change our mind or we do anything weird.
Yeah, I know. People love their doggies. In case anyone asks, because I'm sure someone will, she seems to be half corgi, half like German Shepherd. Don't ask us how that works,
I
but
was getting ready to say he may be Chihuahua, but yeah.
she's an odd mix. But she is definitely a corgi.
Sounds like a wild Friday night to me. All right.
So how much more do you, in hours, do you expect actually this trebuchet will take, by the way? Just off the cuff, if you can.
6.
6 hours? Okay.
Yeah, I would guess. I mean, for me, when I was doing this a lot, I'd usually try and complete a piece that was complicated like this in 2 nights, maybe 3 nights, and that was painted and everything. But, getting this to run and shoot stuff is going to add a little bit more to it just because we're going to take a little bit more care with it. And then I'll take some of these scraps and I'll show you how to build catapults. They're rubber band powered that you can bombard your employees with and get fired. But you just can't tell them I did it. Showed you how. So, oops, too much. That's always a great phrase to hear. Oops, too much. All right. So what is that game? Is there supposed to be a Diablo coming out anytime soon?
Soon, no, but there is going to be Diablo 4 coming out. We anticipate 2022 or something. We would imagine.
Oh, wow,
within the
that
next,
far away?
Yeah, it's not even Blizzard soon, unfortunately. So,
Okay.
also, yeah, because I saw people saying this. Get well soon, playing at Crossroads.
What's
Obviously
wrong?
I believe she's in the hospital getting some surgery type stuff done.
Ow. If you're trying to raise your insurance, that's this time of year, but it's not a good day. Here's a true story.
Oh,
I was
no.
in the hospital, and I got discharged on Christmas Eve. And Dave was out there, got me. He's so excited it's actually going to happen, because they were talking about keeping me an extra day or so. And because I never do anything the easy way. So anyway, they say, okay, yeah, you finally did all the paperwork, you're ready to go, this and that and the other. They always, up here at this hospital, they always make you ride the wheelchair down. And so the attendant's going to take you down there and all this kind of stuff. So Dave goes running off to get the car, and he knows where to pick me up or where I'm going to be, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, we wait. The parking lot is just right over there. I'm like, well, I don't know what he's doing. Maybe the car didn't start. I don't know. And then finally, and it was a pretty good while, he came screaming up. And come to find out, he had literally got so excited that he ran out there, he got the car, and then he drove off. He was halfway down the highway. when he
Without
realized-
you.
Without me. Because he turned around to say something to me and realized I wasn't in the car.
Jeez.
So then he had to come back. So we always have fun with that.
Oh, Planner said they are removing a tumor.
Oh, no, where?
Well,
Well, I know in the hospital, but is it what kind?
they're removing it in the hospital. But yes, well wishes. I agree.
Yeah,
That's,
definitely.
especially in this holiday time, since you're in the hospital during the holiday. Hopefully, then that this episode brings you a little bit of fun and joy. In fact, I'm about to add something to the stream that I think maybe makes it a little homier, makes it a little more Christmassy.
What?
Oh, it's a surprise for you too.
Uh-oh. What? Oh. There we go. Whatever. Yeah. Been dying all week to do that one.
Yeah, why not?
I understand you're going to be gone, so you're going to kill yourself. I mean, to go enjoy life.
Hey, it's skiing. Listen, if I stay on the bunny slopes, I'll be fine.
Who are you going with now?
Just McKaylee and her brother and sister-in-law.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's just the
That'll
four
be
of us.
fun.
Although her sister-in-law has never skied or snowboarded before, so I won't be
Well,
the
if
worst
no one
one
has
there.
ever done this, who's the one that came up with the idea then?
Well,
Was it?
technically her brother,
Oh,
because
okay. And he skis?
Well, she and he and McKaylee used to snowboard all the time up in Alaska, I think. So that's something they're not unfamiliar with. I've only ever skied, and I've only done it a couple of times, but I'm looking forward to it. So
I know some people that they're just addicted to it.
To skiing?
To skiing.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yep. All right, so enough of the boring whittling. I think this is going to survive. I only took one chunk out and I made it. So our taper is going to look good. We'll have to round it off at the end. Oh, come on. Be silly. So, we're all going to go see Star Wars. When day is that? Thursday? The 20th.
Friday.
Friday.
Friday, yeah.
This Friday.
Yeah.
In fact, yes.
Have you actually seen it yet?
No, I have not. So I don't want to.
Yeah, so no spoilers in chat if you haven't seen it, please. I don't feel like we don't have to tell people that.
I don't
usually.
even want to watch
A review?
a review, or no, not a review. The trailers.
The trailers. Oh, okay.
Yeah. When they did Star Wars Strikes Back, I was so hungry for it. I watched every trailer. I did everything I could. That by the time I got there and watched the movie, I sort of pretty much had it all figured out. It was not near as much fun,
Yeah.
for lack of a better. Okay.
So
So that is going to now work. What, sir?
Max is prodding me about the Cowboys. This is what's going to happen, Max. They're going to win on Sunday, and the Eagles are going to lose on Sunday. And then guess what's going to happen? The Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. Done. Calling it right here. But it probably won't happen that way. It almost certainly won't happen that way.
That's a pretty bold statement for a Cowboy, even for a Cowboy fan. I think everybody pretty much knows the reality that are the Cowboys. It probably isn't dry enough yet. So
Max
won't
Powers
mention.
wants to take my place at the Star Wars movie. Actually, I think John said he may not even go Friday because he already saw it this last weekend. And I'll just say this. This is all I'm going to say. His review of it, not stellar at all.
Well, see, don't even. How do we know?
Well, to be fair, and John did preface this with what he said, was that he's not a big Star Wars fan. So,
Well, then it doesn't count.
correct.
Now, what I'm doing here real quick is I've gone in, there's my spot hole, and we're going to start with that, but it's at a weird angle, so you just got to watch me drill. So now continue your defense of this.
Actually, hold on. Let me. I can go to the big camera for this, I think.
No, that's okay. This is work. They can see it.
Okay.
But they can see, again, we're not doing a drill. I mean, I could have done a drill. That would have been fast, but then I have to go find it and plug it in. Be bothered with that. And this gives you more of a medieval feeling that you've had to handcraft this.
And yes, Bloodwild, Garrett is the coach of the year. Let's go ahead and just he's such a coach of the year that he's gonna get let go at the end of the season.
Oh, you let down? Okay, now, when you're drilling wood, when you get close to the other side, especially with something soft like balsa wood, it'll want to splinter out like this. And to keep it from splaying, I'd sort of trick it and think I'm drilling into another piece of wood. So now that I'm getting close there, I'll take our little scrap block, stick it in, and continue.
John said the table is messy. Look what you've done. Look what you've done to that table.
Well, it's like, what does Michael Collins call it? He comes out, it's like an explosion or something. I don't know.
It's like a whirlwind, a tornado of
Yeah.
just crap everywhere.
Okay, we're still not through. Damn, thought for sure we'd made it there. Subsequent holes do get easier. It's just making sure they stay straight. Because it'll just want to grab meat.
There we go. That's actually a better shot.
Oh, okay.
So you can kind of
say
see
so.
what's now. I'm gonna say Albie. I'm gonna call whoever you are. I'm gonna call you Albie. I like that. So Albie said, "Don't they make a hand drill that can drill with that bit instead
Probably
of
so.
just okay."
Oh, probably so. I went down literally 5 minutes before start. I said, "Oh yeah, I gotta get a drill bit." And we got an old toolbox down there that has scraps of tool sets in it, and there's a drawer in there that had a bunch of drills. So I just grabbed a bunch that I thought would work.
All right, there you go.
What does Ron always say? We're not professionals. So now, what I'm wanting to do is make sure that, as you can see, I'm like this lined up. Now we could pull out a protractor, and I think we have one somewhere, but it's probably just more fun to eyeball it. That way I have something to blame if it doesn't work. I go, oh, it's that damn angle didn't get to be 90 degrees. Okay, now, this one is probably, here's sort of the thing, is I know I've got a good angle. I could go from here to the other side, eyeball it, and come through, but what might happen is the inside of this wood, I'm going like that, type of thing, I might not hit it up exactly at line. So I think what I'll do is get a chunk of the way through this way, and that ensures that I have a good lineup on that axle. There we go. Has anybody played the new definitive edition of Age of Empires?
No, but I believe I picked it up for when it was on sale like a week or two ago. I just
Yeah.
haven't- oh no, I'm sorry, I did. I launched it and I started a game, but then I was playing by myself, since I couldn't get anyone to play
You
with
don't
me.
have any friends?
I don't have any friends that will play it with me apparently. So yeah, no, it's
We try. We're not trying it. We're actually using it. But it is actually a very dramatic change from the original one.
is that in difficulty or just in
No,
quality?
well, just in reality almost. The AI is different, for sure. So it's not the usual. It's a lot smarter and a lot more intuitive AI than it was. But one of the things they've done, which can get really annoying. Okay, so what we've got here is now it's gone all the way through. It's sort of hard to see with the background. But we do have pretty much a 90 degree. We'll check that. Nope, it's not.
Thank you, Crusader.
So what I'm going to do is go down a little bit and we'll catch it on the other side. Yeah. I mean, we're almost perfectly there.
And you know, there's nothing stopping us that maybe in the future, I'm not ruling it out, that maybe we get something set up here where we play some Age of Empires and maybe, just maybe, we invite someone from our chat to play with us. You know, and then we can really engage with you guys. But
That might be fun, like even at a
yeah.
ReaperCon event or something.
there
Who
you go.
knows?
You know what? I actually like that we could actually set up computers to do that at ReaperCon.
Yeah.
So there's, you know, that kind of stuff. We enjoy engaging with you and doing that. It's fun to paint, but obviously doing stuff like that would be cool too.
Okay.
I'm not. Yeah, there you go, John. Jackbox is a good example. That's a fun party type game that we could play with our chat. And
Okay. I don't know Jackbox.
it's online and it's like playing. John has way more experience with it, but it's like playing. Not Cards Against Humanity, but that's an example of something you would play with your audience.
Ah, okay.
You know, they can play with their phones. That's right.
I
John
think we're
said
supposed to also do a Monopoly or something. That was discussed.
we could do that.
A Monopoly with accountants. That is an experience. Now, so what I've done, just so we can see, get it back to the close camera so I can show
All
it.
right, we could do that.
Okay, we drilled our first hole. We've got a pretty much a 90 degree alignment in it. Actually, from here you should be able to see a little bit better. Load that in. So we come straight across. It is slightly higher on the left side from the drill through, and that's just because we did it by hand. So what I also do is another final adjustment to start off correctly is I take the tube that we're going to insert, this particular piece of plastic, and it's just, there's not an edge on it or anything. It's just been cut with the thing. But what I'm doing is starting it in here. And as you can see, that there's how it indents down in. Now I'm not really going to cut, nor am I going to make it through, but the main reason I do that is when I take this drill bit, the one we matched up, let me make sure I've got it. Maybe I can go a little bit smaller and press it in. I want it to line up with that hole and do what it's supposed to do. Yeah, so we'll go a little bit smaller. And I can pull that hole when I'm drilling and make sure that I'm lining up with that hole. So see, if I start biting any of this outer edge, it's sort of a hard, complicated thing to explain. So if I start cutting any of this outer edge, that means I'm moving left, right, or up or down, you know, like this, and I don't want to do that. I want to stay in that hole. So it allows me to get through and keep alignment, so to speak, and get to something larger for this to come through, like so. And as you'll notice, it allowed me to manually center this hole because I don't have a whole lot of meat to play with here. So since you're doing this all just whack, or you know, whatever you're doing it, you don't want to, like over here, I don't have much meat at all. So on this side. So what I'm going to do is now take this and do the same thing there, and I'm going to center it now on that hole, or where I want to cut, and start inserting. And so as you can see, what I've done is actually move what I'm going to do over to be closer to the center of the wood itself. And I might even do a little bit more, just to get a little bit of that meat. And these are just things, I don't know, I've learned through the years to help compensate because I don't want to be bothered with using the proper tools, for lack of a better descriptive. And also, too, if you bust this out or you have a problem with it, glue is your friend. We can fix anything that splits out. And
Thank
so
you,
sort of
Incubus.
keeping a pressure on it. Yes, sir. What now?
I was thanking Incubus for his.
Oh, well, thank you, sir. I'm not
For the tier
watching
2.
this, so give your questions to Justin, and he'll ask them.
Actually, with Incubus's sub, since it's a tier 2, we are now 3 subs away from a 4th paint set.
Wow. You know what's fun about this, giving this paint set away?
What's that?
It was never cleared through all of the high command because they're not here.
Actually, it was, to be fair, I was talking to Ron about cool stuff we could try to give away to promote this stuff,
Excuse
and
me.
he actually suggested this paint set.
Did he really?
Ron did, yeah.
Man,
And even though he
Christmas
knew it
spirit
wasn't
has really
released
gotten
yet.
Mr. Bah Humbug.
Yeah.
He's a very good Christmas person, but it always seems like, well, let's give away 10. Well, how about 15? No, 10 is enough. You know, I'm like, there's never enough. By the way, there was a good movie on. I didn't get to see it. I'll catch it later. But I was at the house. My dad had shown up, so we met him at the house real quick. It was called Santa Jaws on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Sign me up. I will watch the hell out of
Yeah,
this.
I love bad movies.
Also, thank you, GrozYeti, for the 5 gift bomb. And now we're at 42. So, good job, guys. Look at that.
And how many is it? Every 10?
It's every 10, yes.
So we're at 4?
So
Good.
we're 8. Now we're 8 away from a 5th one, or 4 tier 2 subs, or I think like 2 tier 3 subs, because tier 3 subs count for like 5, because they're big subs.
All
so.
right. So, yeah, correct, didn't it? Did what it was supposed to. So, looking down on it, this is what our full axle will be. We're going to keep that. I mean, what I'll end up doing now, what we have to do is add these inserts here to bring this back to this open area is now the width of our shaft. That's why I had to whittle this together real quick to know what shaft we were going to use, because this area here, it'll have to fit like that. And this keeps it from wobbling and it adds a lot of stability to it. So while we're doing, before we get to that part, since this is actually, to me, the hard part was that.
Thank you, Planet Crossroads. Look at that. In the hospital and still giving subs.
Oh, wow.
That is impressive and awesome. Thank you
Man,
very
that's
much.
Iron Man operation there.
That is, yes, I agree.
Well, good luck with that. Best of luck for that. It's never fun.
Yeah, the best of vibes and love and
Thoughts,
adoration.
prayers, everything, man.
God's prayers, Odin's prayers, any prayers there are out there, then you get them all.
Yeah. It's never fun, that's for sure. Now, I'd had lymphoma, for non-Hodgkin's lymphoma as a cancer, and that creates all your lymph nodes to jump up and act like tumors and stuff.
Didn't they think that was something crazy like?
Yeah, I had this, God almighty, I'll tell that story.
It's kind of a crazy story. It really
It is, it really is in a way.
Because they gave you something like 2 months to live or something, right?
Yeah, yeah. So without getting to link to the thing, in Wichita Falls, which is a population of about 100,000, it's where my parents lived at the time. So Origins is that year. I launched the original Warlord, and then from there go to the coast. And while I was at the coast, I started feeling, when I say the coast, it's down South Padre Island, South Texas. And so I start feeling bad, and this is like June, I guess, in that area when all this happens. And so by the time we get back, and I'm only down there, I even cut my trip short. Usually if I could get down there, it's 3 weeks, if not a month. I just sort of beach bummed. I got back, and I'd started turning yellow. I mean, and just kept getting worse and worse. And it was like, to the point of almost being day glow yellow, and had all these pains, and I couldn't sleep. It was just a mess. So you go to the doctor, and the first thing they're thinking is, oh, well, you've got a hepatitis, you've been to a national show, you drank from the wrong cup, you know, they fill in all the blanks, and it works. So everything they do, though, fails. They don't get it to work any better. And from that end, let me see, okay, that's this whole. So anyway, long story short, is he keeps saying this phrase to me, we're not looking for a zebra in a herd of horses. And I get it, he's just trying to say, we're not looking for anything crazy. So I'm 24 at the time, and so he comes in one night. He's supposed to come by earlier in the day. Never showed, never showed. My parents are now up there. They were supposed to meet him. He hadn't shown. So we're all hanging out in the room. And I'll also say this. I know nothing about medicine. I don't need to know what takes me out. So he comes in, and that's when he tells my parents and myself that I have advanced stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And to me, I was like, well, what's the pancreas do? Oh, it produces insulin and all
Yeah,
that. Well,
yeah.
fine, I can take whatever. Get it out of me. Oh, well, you don't understand. We can't take it out. I say, you don't understand. I don't want it in me. So we got an impasse here. Make this happen. And he goes, well, you just really don't understand. We'll talk more later. And everybody in the room's upset and this, that, and the other. It really wasn't until a couple of days later that I was on the phone with a friend, and I told him, and he was a nurse, and his wife was a nurse, and he freaked out, so I freaked out, And I finally put all of the pieces to truly understood. Even though what they had explained to me, I now truly understood it, I guess is the way to say it. They weren't hiding anything from me, and it was just... So anyway, we go, my mom makes the arrangements. We go down to Baylor Hospital in Dallas, second opinion, and inside of 24 hours, they had it diagnosed as non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, had me on a treatment plan, and the whole thing. So I went from don't take out any magazine subscriptions to... you're going to be just fine in 24 hours.
Wow.
And they got right on it and did it. And
That's why second opinions are important.
yeah, very much so.
So, also,
much so.
thank you for the last 2 subs there, Planar Crossroads. We now hit 50. We're giving 5 of them away.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool. Okay, as you can see what I'm doing here, I need to get this in here real quick. I don't really need to, but while we're here, I'd like to go ahead and get this hole done. So I'm already breaking my own rules. I'm gluing on the glue, I'm cutting on the glue line. So now, and I'm also going across the grain. So it's going to be a little bit harder to get this thing through. And keep it straight. Back to that, maybe I should have gone ahead and plugged in that drill. It'd have been over with here in about 2 seconds. We'd have a hole in the table.
No,
But,
Collins. You can't enter the free. The only free you get is...
You entered.
Yeah.
That night you were watching, we
Yeah,
saw you roll
and-
across.
But I'm saying Collins can't. In fact, actually, Collins, look at this. You just won. You won my dog. I'll be over shortly.
Yeah, there we go.
But you only get her for like 5 days, and then I have to get her back.
This is another fun story. Collins had a special order. It was down there on the table. Of course, he's not here. And I don't know if he's planning on planning or what the story was. Doesn't really matter. I saw it and said, hey, I want to get this. So I just grabbed it. I told the guy, I thought it was for the store. So I told him, I said, okay, charge this to the account. I'm taking this. I want to read this. And it was a book and some stuff, some miniatures and junk. And he goes, oh, no, that's for Collins. I go, yeah, well, you're not here. You snooze, you lose. I said, I'll leave him the rest of it, but this part here. He goes, oh, okay.
That's funny. So Collins has his stuff taken.
Yeah.
There you go, Collins. You made a sale. Write that. Right off the bat.
Yeah. So, all this useless stuff. Dave and I drove by the 2 original shops of Reaper the other day. We were down there, had to drop stuff off at an attorney. Oh, and go see that guy, the one that's doing the drainage plan.
The engineer?
The engineer. And so we got both of them done as our trademark attorney. All of the renewals for all the trademarks show up right now. So, excuse me. And so anyway, we were down there, and as we were leaving, they've done a lot of work, stuff like that. So we drove all the way down to the Smith Street shop. That was the one next to the graveyard. They have a big fence around it now, and so we'd have to come back during the day. There was times that the gate would operate. And then we drove over to the Mill Street shop. And the amazing thing really out of both of them was they looked so small that I remembered. I remembered it as being, huge and all that. Gone for one little day.
Hasn't
This
he been
poor
gone for like
engineer
4
getting
days?
ripped on. He's not getting ripped on. He's a civil engineer. He promised me, he literally said, you will have this by Friday. This is last Friday. And at the very latest, you'll have it on Monday or Tuesday of the week before I leave town for the holidays. And it's not in my email. But he came highly recommended, so
Well,
that makes-
there
he'll
you
do a
go.
good job.
Also, the giveaway is it's not the holiday paint sets. It's the Bones paint set number 5. It's not released yet. So the first 5 into the public starts now. Well, so far it's 5. We're technically 9 more away from a 6th one. So.
Insulati Oceans, 1193. Sophie Champagne's turned on in the store. You can order it.
I thought it was sold out.
No.
Oh, no? You sure?
I'm positive. I went past a bucket of it when I was down there.
Oh, well. Oh, in the store. I got you.
In the internet store. I don't know about the store, but you should be. If it's off, then we need to tell Ron real quick that it bugged out. We have a problem with stuff bugging out.
Oh, it's
where
sold. It's
turns
sold out in
itself.
Europe, apparently.
Oh, it's sold out in Europe. Oh, damn. Well, how about I get some of the stuff I saw down there and send it to Europe? And then next Tuesday, I'll let you know when it arrives, and we'll get Kit to put it out.
Sounds like a good idea. You heard
Yeah.
it here first.
Anything to buy time while I seem to be drilling the hole from hell by hand. Yes. I said, back to that hand drill I didn't think I was going to need. How did I start that? I didn't think.
Oh, John said that there's some on a pallet. It just hasn't arrived in the UK yet.
Oh, okay, okay.
So, but we may need to. I imagine it'll sell out pretty quick. We probably need to follow it up with another shipment. Anyway,
Right.
since it looks like it's very popular.
Okay.
Oh, actually, according to Incubus, it says 0 in stock in US also.
Then it bugged out. Well, when I'm done here, I'll get with Ron and we'll get it back on.
See, this is why.
Or
Also,
Ron, if you're listening.
feel free to tweet us this kind of stuff too. John
Yeah.
John here can second this. But this is why Twitch and Twitter and stuff are very important because, you guys tell us this stuff, we can go fix it.
Okay.
And John, actually, John said it didn't bug out. We just didn't make a lot.
There's a bucket down there.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
you heard him. You heard him here.
I just went, yeah. So maybe there was the first bucket emptied out and they finished for the day. I don't know. It might actually be sold out in the bucket. So we will get it sorted when we're done. All right. I don't know how many Ron put. Oh, I bet I know what happened is so that we hit the right number. What they always do is, let's say you've got a bucket of 250, 500, whatever the number is. We don't count it. What we do is they'll estimate it, and then it gets down to that point, and of course then it zeroes out, and now it's enough for us to go in and count and put the exact number up. That's what's going on.
I see. Okay.
So when I get done here, I'll go down. We'll get it back on. So thank God I came in on this day. What would happen? There's no one in the shop and it still falls apart, right?
Well, usually that's when it falls apart the most, right?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. No, it stays together. I'm just being in.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah. Okay. So everybody can see what we did. This is the axle. This is going to ride on. We do have now a successful beam. I'll stop whittling on it. It's its own construction to itself. But as you can see, it'll go here. This tube inserts here when it's over there, and we get a good twirly part. So
good
now that we
twirly
have
part.
that part, what I have to do is stick this part in. Actually, I'm just going to make this a little shorter so it'll be a little bit more manageable. And we're going to build those supports and get that part in there. Oh, we're coming up on an hour, but I tell you what, I'm going to keep going for a little while longer. I don't care. Well, I'm saying that. You've got to go. What time do you have to leave, Justin?
I think they said 5 or 6 or something like that out to my parents' house. So it's not. At the end of the day, if you want to go a little bit longer, that's up to you.
Okay.
We can hang
If you
out.
don't mind, I'll go. But
Yeah.
the boss is here.
I do think we have to, what do we have to get? We have to pick up something before stores close. What? Before 7. Okay.
Okay.
Which is, I think we have to pick up some extra dog food. So.
All right. So that's why we did the hole there.
Yeah, let's see if we can actually get this in here and see if we can kind of faux fling something.
I don't know if we can faux fling.
Oh, no.
yes, okay.
We'll do it. We'll fling something.
Something's getting flung.
Something is getting
Who
flung.
flung do, huh? Now all I got to do is get it in there long enough to be able to check the geometry. It's off a tad, but it's not going to be off enough to worry about it. That is low enough at the bottom to catch the ballast or our payload. So we would pull it down to about right here, it would be pulling the payload from there. The ballast would be up this high, so yeah, it'll easily will be good. Yeah, although it doesn't go around all that way. It usually goes here, and because of the anchor, it should just rock back and forth a little bit.
Yeah,
So-
looks good.
So we did catch, we were lucked out. So anyway, now what, excuse me, what we got to do is figure out what these pieces will be, and we might luck out with 2 of those. And if that's the case, this goes really fast. And I think we might get there. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to take a little bit off because I do want it to freewheel. If we're going to throw stuff, we want to go ahead and see the axle. That means we'll have no, but I can do that in a second. So anyway, that'll work. So we need to strap that, but what we're looking at, get the down here,
Oh, the down here
Yeah.
camera.
is we have this shaft that comes up and it just disappears into the framework, but that's it there. We're adding this second piece here on the inside. And that's effectively, as you can see, closes the gap, gets it going. And what we're going to do is we could cheat and just go either side, or do we have to drill a hole in it? Yeah. We just got to figure out the length down we want. And I'm going to say, looking at that, to this, somewhere in that area there. Let's put a dent in it. And we'll cut it off, and get 2 of these, and then get them into place. Use our handy dandy ruler.
We also have 130 people watching you, Ed.
Wow.
Christmas Eve. Thank you guys for stopping by. That kind of makes
Thank
this
you very
awesome.
much. Yeah, it's
It
good.
makes this especially
We were
worth it.
really wondering because at the very beginning it was just, tell me if you ever heard this story. It's like Bug Lips, Justin, and I were the only 3 here. And
Yeah, Bug Lips said, made a mention that he thought it was awfully quiet, and I was like, well, this may be a private viewing for Bug
private
Lips.
viewing for Bug Lips, yeah,
Yeah.
he gets to see it all. Yeah. So now to dress it up, it seems to be straight up here at the top, just flat. We can give it that. We'll probably give it a little bit of an angle. Actually, I like to give it a little bit of angle on both sides. So, and we'll go down, and then we'll come right over here and do the same thing.
Hey, so Max Powers, if I buy your kid a bunch of Cowboys gear, you'll put it on him, right? You'll feel obligated? That's how this works? I can get him a Cowboys beanie and a Cowboys jersey. Some little, like, Cowboys
We were
pants.
at some store, and Dave sent you. Did he send you that text?
He did. He sent me a picture. In fact, oh, thank you, Max. Look at that. Max said he would actually. He's a Steelers fan, so that's going to be hard for him. But yes, Dave saw a picture of all those huge Cowboys pillows, and he sent me a picture. You know, asked me if I needed one to cry into.
Yeah, yeah.
I was like,
something
thanks,
that.
Dave. Thank you so much. I think it was right around. I think it was pretty close after or right before the Cowboys lost to the effing Eagles.
That's always been their arch nemesis, even back when I rooted for them.
God, I can't stand the Eagles. I really can't.
Philly, though, is a cool city. It really is.
I bet it is. I'm sure Philadelphia is perfectly, what is it, steeped in history and tradition and awesome things
Yeah.
to see, but they have a really crappy football team.
Yeah, there was an Origins up there, so I stayed down at the reading station. There was a hotel. It's really a cool Origins show. Been back up there a couple other times. One of the times we went up to, we got to see the countryside a lot because Dave, that's where he picked up his green Camaro, was up at a town close to there. And so we went up there for that, and that was a lot of fun. But it's a neat countryside and everything. And, of course, we did all of the proper things, Liberty Bell, all the appropriate tourist things.
Yeah, I haven't actually been to the East Coast. Well, okay, that's not true. Technically, Florida's the East Coast. I haven't, or Miami. I have not been in the Northeast.
Oh, like Maryland, you've not done all that?
Nope,
Yeah.
never. One of these days, I want to kind of take. I like history tours of that kind of stuff. Like I want to see Gettysburg. I want to see, I want
Yeah,
to see the
those
Liberty
are neat,
Bell.
yeah.
I want to see that kind of stuff, and that stuff interests me. I still don't know what you said.
Yeah, you could take the baby.
Take the baby. Apparently, I'm
Yeah.
taking the baby. Wait, what baby?
Yeah,
Wait,
That's-
are you
that's-
making jokes too now? It's not quite the same joke if it comes from you, because
She's trying to diffuse it so
Yeah,
it's no more fun.
yeah, that's what
We're
it
not.
is.
Oh. So I just cut them at the same time as you saw, and then leveled them off. We had sort of an angle to them, and I just butted it down instead of having a knife edge to it. We just cut it off, and there it was. I sanded the angle back in. But Philly's a lot of fun. Baltimore's a lot of fun. There's a lot of stuff. You're just a few miles outside of. You get up to Maryland, go to D.C. In between D.C. and Baltimore, there's the Armor Museum. There's a lot of fun stuff. All right. Close enough for government work. So now what we've got to do.
Oh, look, Jimmy and Avalana had their baby.
Oh, really?
They had their baby. It was a girl named Anja. Anja? Or is it Anja? Anja? One of the two. But that's awesome. That's
congratulations.
That's a huge congratulations. I doubt they're in chat right now. They're probably, did they just have it, or is this something that is a couple of days old?
Okay. So what we're going to do here is, I'll do it sideways, is we know we have our hole, and so we know we have all our shafts. Since all our geometry's lined up, we haven't drilled this. Well, rather than drill this and try and do that, I'm just going to glue them on like so, and we're going to use that as our guide hole to go straight through to the other one. And so let me get to gluing.
And actually, since you guys are talking about giveaways, the only giveaway that has not been processed and shipped as of right now is the one from this last Reaper Live, which that will not get processed and shipped probably until later this week. And then this giveaway won't be processed till Monday, mainly because of the holidays. So
There could be other reasons.
there might be. I don't know, like what, natural disaster reasons?
That's true.
Like we had a random blizzard fly through.
I know down there in Australia, though, those fires are insane.
They are doing crazy stuff.
Yeah.
They really are. Is Victoria safe? All
Yep,
good?
Yeah, she's in that area. But it's really her aunt that lives very close to it. I think she's close enough to the water where if it actually gets in her backyard, she's got bigger problems. But it is just insane. And apparently what is part of hurting it is the fires never went out. It's just more or less turning into this big continuous fire. It just keeps going. And now they're finally able to get some U.S. firefighters down there and some Canadians. Normally, when it's their fire season, it's not ours, and vice versa.
Right.
And this time, because they sort of came at the same time and didn't get put out in their non-season properly or whatever, it is... oh yes, so you can see what's going on here. What I'm doing is I've got the glue on these, and we're just knocking pins in.
Yeah, there we go. We need to go to PAX Unplugged, Ed. So,
PAX Unplugged?
Yeah, so we can take a free trip to Philly.
For a free trip to Philly.
Yeah, we'll do that. That's what Kelvaren just said. We need to convince you to go to PAX Unplugged.
I love PAX, period. I loved them. The first one I went to is the one in Boston. PAX East. That was actually a lot of fun.
PAX South was a lot of fun too. I had never been to one until we went down there, and it was a lot more
They're
fun.
not
than
like
I
a
expected.
Gen Con or an Origins by any stretch. Okay. Now what we're going to try and do here is just get pins in to help them dry. But we pull them all in, try and get them all the way through, only because that way they don't start going back and forth on the shaft of the pin. So they're sort of pinned down, get it? There we go. Cheap tricks. Yeah, and apparently down in Australia, I didn't know this, but I mean, it's so politician-y anyway. Their prime minister was apparently doing vacationing in Hawaii while all these fires were going on. I saw that in the news. And I thought, wow.
That's not a good time to do that.
Not a good time in the whole thing, yeah. If you're going to get reelected, I'm sure your opponents will use that against you. All right. Now, we're not too worried about all of this. This is close, but I still haven't even dressed these ends or anything. We're going to come back and do some work on this stuff. Now they're pinned in and they're glued. At this point here, we would drill our hole. And the best way to drill the hole, and all we've done now, is cover that shaft like we were playing, like there. To follow the, well, I call it a blueprint. It's really just an old wood engraving or some drawing. Oh yeah, this will work out well. I have to make a shim here. So now I can just squeeze. Oops, no, before I start squeezing, somebody's talking about I got a pin. The pins are sticking out over here.
Oh, great.
Yeah, let me get rid of those first before I start grabbing it. Where's my, there it is. And there we go. And where did you go? You just hid away. All right. Okay, so now that we've got this and we have our space in there, we start back, and it should be easy because the hole's through everything. All I got to do is just drill into that. Let me find that drill bit. I think that was it. Yeah.
Yeah, I am actually kind of thankful that here where we live, especially in the DFW, that we don't tend to have any serious like natural disaster type problems. Like they're talking
Ice.
about mudslides.
But we get ice.
Sure, we do occasionally get ice. When was the last time we really had ice?
It's been a few years, but that last one was like an ice apocalypse.
It was pretty rough.
There was a lot of power lines down. And
Yeah. But you can I feel like if it ices and you're remotely prepared, you just kind of stay in, wait it out a little bit, and you're good. It's hard to stay in and wait out a wildfire or a
True.
mudslide.
Yeah. In fact, you usually don't want to stay in. You want to get out of the area.
Correct. It's just I'm definitely no. You do have tornadoes down here, but once again, yeah, the occasional tornado. There you go. But that's typically speaking, we don't have those sorts of problems here in the DFW. Not significant, at least.
Thanks. You just jinxed us.
Yeah, it's going to be on me now.
Yeah.
No, it's when it ices and it snows down here, Bug Lips, it shuts down the whole Metroplex.
Yeah.
It's an inch of ice is everyone stays home and we're done.
It can be. I had at least 3 inches of a sheet of 3 inches of ice on my driveway, and the only way I got it off is just using hydraulics. My neighbor was out there chipping and beating and this, that, and the other. I said, I ain't going to put that kind of energy into it, you know. So I just went and got my hose and hooked it up, and then would just drill down with the water. As soon as it got under the ice, it pulled it all up, and then you just kicked the piece off. I went over and told him. I think it made him mad, so he just continued to chip at it. It's like, oh, it's whatever.
And Dave just angrily chips at it and then throws it at you.
Yeah.
Good job, Dave.
So we made enough of a mess in that hole. We should be pretty close.
We do have some salt trucks. You see them occasionally, like preemptively, but there's not that many. They're not really in budget for the cities and stuff because we just don't use them that often. And winter tires, I don't know that I've ever seen.
No.
You ever seen chain on a chain on a tire down here?
Years ago, when I was in high school, we actually got snow, and you'd see chains, but chains are worthless on ice. They'll work on snow, but they just don't work on ice. They just want to roll on top. And so, no, you just don't see them like you used to. Now, part of what we did here, just so we can understand the theory, if you're actually trying to build this, is by adding this piece here, this insert to shim it up, already having this hole makes sure that we get all of our size, all of our geometry as straight as possible to go through. And by putting this shim in between, I can actually give it a lot of pressure that I normally wouldn't be able to, or I wouldn't anyway, you all get it. When you're building, it'll make perfect sense. Probably also use this video as a way to go to sleep at night.
Yeah, there you go.
Did I hear somebody knocking on a door out there?
No, if it were knocking, the dog would be barking. So I don't think that's the case.
I was just say, who could be here? Although everybody says the shop is haunted.
Oh no.
You haven't heard that?
I have heard
Yeah.
it. Back when the East Warehouse wasn't the East Warehouse, and before it was internet, and now it was just all the storage stuff.
Uh-huh.
Going over there was unbelievably creepy. Just walking up and down the aisles.
Oh,
And-
across the street.
No, I mean
in
when
there.
this was storage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in there. It was really creaky and creepy out there. It was not fun,
Okay.
especially late at night. Nope.
Yeah, up here late at night, you'll hear noises and stuff. So, and I've actually gone out and start walking through the shop trying to see if I could find it.
Ghost of Minnie's past.
Yeah,
There we go.
that's what we need. To be haunted by the Grenadier and their heritage ghosts.
That's a great sound.
What,
That
this?
is fantastic. I love it. And I'm sure everyone watching is loving it too. Oh boy.
Yeah, well,
Speaking of haunted noises,
did I tell you needed it tight?
clearly.
There we go. Yeah. Actually, it came out pretty straight. I mean, it's funny when it surprises you. All right.
Do nails on a chalkboard next. Now we're not taking requests.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
the bug lips.
Now we got to take it all the way back out.
Oh, great.
There we go.
Basically, Collins, yeah, technically, I think Ron and Kevin are here, unless one of them or both of them left. Yes, it's just us.
Yeah, they abandoned. They finished up an internet early.
Oh, thank you for the sub, Greek.
So I don't have any way to mark this one. See if I can scratch it and see what we end up with.
Oh, Albie, that sounds. I pictured that. That's awful.
What?
He said to put a toothpick under your toenail and kick the wall.
The hell?
Yeah, the hell is right. The hell is right. No, it's just the paint set rings.
And then I forgot what the stats on it. We counted. How many were there? 18? There's 3, 6, so 8, 16 colors.
16 colors, correct.
Yeah.
And they are brand new, and they have not been released yet.
Right.
In fact, when we process these and ship them next Monday, they still will not be released.
yeah.
I think they're not releasing until January 6th or something, somewhere in that ish.
A couple weeks.
Yeah,
it's
within give or take a week.
Still, yeah, they're still out.
Give a week. Oh,
They're just now producing the paint and stuff, so I know there's not. Here we go. Am I back? Can you hear me now? I'll make a commercial.
yeah, you're good.
Okay, so we're going to put this side in, although I should have, I'll measure it. Now, we're not too worried about the end of this dressing here, because we're going to put a piece of wood over it, sort of like a veneer. But one thing we don't really want is how long, here, get the up or down camera. So, see how it sticks out? You don't want that. So,
Collins, aren't you supposed to be sick? What are you doing right now? He's just harassing us. And also, those are some good pictures of your dog. Speaking of which, is your dog friendly? I hope. Like, is it? Because we haven't really introduced him to Stella here, so hopefully that works out. Also, thank you for the 5 gift bomb. That puts us 3 subs again away from a 6th paint set. You guys are doing all kinds of crazy Christmas giving today.
well, it is Christmas. We're going to try
3
it again.
subs. What in the world are these, John?
What? What are you talking about?
John sent me random pictures of Are these on the... Is this out there right now?
What?
It does count resub spoons, but I did not see your resub. It has not come through yet on my end.
Yeah, that's
So-
not gonna work. Okay. So, since we don't have my Sharpie of Doom, I'll cut this right here. Come up short. And we'll do two. I have to recut it to be easier. It'd actually be safer. Trying to cut with Plastistruct in weird ways, it generally doesn't end well. But I love building with Plastistruct. We're going to build some cool stuff with that.
I'll go ahead and drop this picture that John sent me here.
I tell you also, too, a Plastistruct wizard is Bob Adolphi. If you get to come to ReaperCon and meet him, or you run into him at a grocery store, and he doesn't have a mask and a gun, then talk to him.
That's
But he
great.
is like a wizard with Plastistruct.
Collins assures us, by the way, Michaela, that the doggy is very nice.
Yeah.
You have to send us pictures, Collins, if they start playing, because Stella doesn't really have any other dogs to play with at home. So, and I know that Spring and Nestle are kind of on the older side, and they're not really play. They don't really want to play.
Anybody could mark it. Why I refuse to do that, I don't know. So, I'm going to see if I can cheat and get the second one done at the same time. And what we'll do is see if we get that beam in there, and then we'll stop there. Once we get the beam in there and on an axle.
So you asked earlier. I meant to ask you, what are you doing for Christmas? Like, what's happening for you the next day or two?
Well, tonight, my grandkids have grown out of their toy room, and so what we did is all got together and constructed a video game room for them. It's using 2 Xboxes, 2 TVs, but it's not that big, so the TVs aren't that big. It's not like an arena thing, but the Xboxes, they make actually an inexpensive Xbox, as it doesn't have a disk drive in it. It has, I guess, less power, less memory.
Right.
And so but at least this way, they each get their own Xbox, which is worth its weight. So we're going to debut that tonight at about 6 o'clock. We are going over there to do their Christmas for them, because there's absolutely no way they want to wait, on and on.
Yeah.
It was easier to do it at 6 o'clock rather than get up early.
Completely understand.
And then past that, we're doing that, and we'll probably do our tree tonight or tomorrow or something. We'll get there, and then really just hang out, chill. We'll play Age of Empires.
I must say, play some Age of Empires. Yeah,
We'll do that. Or actually, Left 4 Dead, usually the Christmas game.
Really?
I know that sounds a little on the weird side. But
Speaking of Left 4 Dead, have you seen the newer zombie game that basically functions just like Left 4 Dead, but it uses the Unreal Engine on the PC?
No,
I'll have to get the name of it for you, because it's...
If you'll text me that name, of course, yes, because
Yeah.
I'm all the time looking. They haven't released the Left 4 Dead. And
Yeah, it's
in a
very,
long time.
very similar to it, but it's on the PC only, I think. And it is also very graphic. I don't know if that matters.
no.
It's very graphic. Also, thank you, Buglips, for those 3 subs. We are now at 60 subs on the day, Ed, which means 6 paint sets. So that is insane. Oh, well, thank you, Fire Giant. There's five more. It really is the season for giving. Honestly, if you had told me, hey, we'd have 65 subs from this stream, we didn't even expect people to show up, let alone get subs.
Yeah.
So
So what we've got now here is the axle in the whole thing. It's not as freewheeling as it needs to be. What it's going to take to do that is simply I've got to sort of play with it. I'll probably put some sort of an abrasive in there, some sandpaper, something. I'll play with it to get it a little bit more lined up. But as you can see, if it was shooting, it's easily got enough to pull. Actually, you can put the other camera on. Yeah. So it'll go, but as you said, see, it sticks, and to get the less friction we have, the more distance we'll get. So nonetheless, that's what we'll do. We checked out. Yeah, make sure this still lines up.
there's your resub spoons.
There we
Thank
go.
you very much.
Yeah. So yeah, we're all in. It's actually starting to take shape now. I put this on upside down, duh. But anyway, we'll play with it in this geometry up here a little bit more to get it. But as you can see where it's going to go and how it matches this section up here now. If we could see it from that direction, we really can't. We just get our 3/4. So the next thing we'll do is when we attach this stuff, That'll be what comes up. Let's see, that particular one starts here, comes through this board and back up to here, and that'll be what'll cover up these, any of the holes and any of the markings we made. And I've got a good space here for it. It's just lining it up this way. We're off just a little bit, and I'll just have to play with it. And that might just take a little oil. I don't know. We'll have to see how we get there. But as you can see, it's got a good motion to it. So we'll stop there.
How about this?
So that
actually?
you guys can get on
Since
the
we're-
road, and he's got to start
Since
calling people.
Yeah, since we stopped there, I'm gonna go ahead and do this for Reaper. I'm going to give these 3 subs to get us to 70,
That works.
and
But it's 1 for every 10, right?
correct.
So we're going to give away 7. That's awesome.
As soon as I can get to the screen to do it.
Let's see if this works any better from this direction. Probably not, but at least try it. And you also, too, when you're doing this, since these are like these outer areas are bushings, you are going to want the axle itself to stick to that wood. It needs to, so it can ride in there. If it starts riding on that, we'll have to see. It's not that important. It's not like not like our life depends on it. Sir Forescale's life depends on it. So anyway, we got enough to break stuff with it so far. So that would be its
Bam.
proper way.
There we go. I got us to 70. There we go.
All right. Well, it sounds good. So let's see some names. How many
7?
names do we need now? 7?
7, yeah.
Wow. That's awesome. Well, thank you all very much. And I do hope you all enjoy this. We're going to keep doing this. We will be out here
So-
next Tuesday.
Hashtag free real quick if you're just showing up for
Yeah.
the paint set. You want to show it to him real quick while I give him a second to
Okay.
punch that in.
Yes.
So it's that. It's the paint set 5. It is, what,
The
16?
colors that are in it, there's 16 colors. You're getting skeleton key, which is a metallic. Looks like a green metallic. I wish you could see it. I didn't even know that. That's actually that's neat. Dungeon gray, crimson, red, a brilliant red, a fireball orange. Excuse me. So a golden yellow. You got your reds, yellows covered. There's a bright turquoise and a dragon blue. You could have fun with the turquoise. Caucasian flesh, maiden, woodland brown, witchcraft purple, solid white, solid black, blue flame, and gem purple. So good purples, got good blues, highlight. Yeah, it's actually got quite a lot. Actually, see if you can get a close up. Do you have a close up camera for this? No, you
do
don't.
not have
you?
one set up. Do not. But
You'll just have to trust me.
yes. People will love it. And also thank you again to everyone who gave subs today, because I think 70 subs as a collective from the people watching. That wasn't just Jacob Jansen bombing us with 70 of them. 'Cause
Okay.
he does like to do that. I think that us collectively coming together for 70 is probably a record. So, and because we didn't have anyone do any crazy big ones, it was 5 here, 10 there, 5 here.
Yeah.
Everyone chipping in. So
Well,
thank you
Bug
very
Lips
much.
did set the tone.
Bug Lips did.
Early
That's
on.
true.
Yeah.
Bug Lips kicked it right off and set the tone. So
And while you're there, while we're at it, we have John is watching and doing everything on Twitter, Twitch, which we're on, Instagram, Facebook. I want to call it Facegram.
no, it's Facegram.
It's Facegram and Facepalm. That's another good one. And YouTube. And so catch that. The show goes up in a day or so. With the holidays, everything's a little bit delayed. So we'll get up there to onto YouTube within a day or so, I guess. So you're going to have it up YouTube before you leave. You're leaving when? For Colorado, like really fast.
I am. What I'm gonna do is, as soon as we're done with the show, I'm gonna upload it, get it all ready, schedule it to show up 24 hours from now.
Okay, that'll
So
work.
you should be able to watch it
Filter.
on Christmas Day if you want.
Yeah.
Or, since there's absolutely no paywall behind it, just come to our Twitch and you can watch it for free on our videos.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
It's absolutely free.
Either
and
way, so
available.
you should be able. But anyway, of all those in MySpace, yes, I can never forget MySpace. I never had a MySpace account, but it was very bizarre to go look at. I enjoyed. It's like people watching at Walmart to go through some people's MySpaces. So you got some names yet?
Yeah, I'm drawing them now.
All right. So everybody have a good Christmas. We will see you soon. Ron and I will be here Thursday night at 6 o'clock. Dave and John will be here Friday with the week roundup, Reaperland at 3 o'clock. Painting Platinum is on Thursday at 3 o'clock.
Correct.
That is with Sadie. She's going through the Learn to Paint kit. Today, the only thing, or tomorrow, you're going to miss Toolbox with Ann or anybody. We're obviously not going to be doing that.
Yep, and that's
Redneck Game God, yes, he did it. He hit his butt crack on MySpace.
All right. Well, I hid. That's great. So our 7 winners, guys, are. I'm gonna go ahead and announce them in chat as I do this.
All right.
Okay, first winner is Ultron2120.
Okay.
GrozYeti is actually a winner. Hey, GrozYeti.
Yeah.
Aoki.
Aoki, yeah.
elleyotter. I think it's what it is. CocoRohan. I like that. Old Beans. Now that one's my favorite. And qualthas. Those are our 7 winners.
So, Justin, what is it they need to do?
Oh, I like this.
I
Okay.
beat you to it.
That's perfect. They email us. Email me at reaperlive@reapermini.com. All of this information, including the winners, will be on the YouTube video channel or the video on YouTube. And that's in the event that you want to visually see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to email reaperlive@reapermini,
And what information do they need to include? You're not getting there yet.
I need the Twitch handle exactly as it appears.
Right.
Okay, and that means if you've got 3 underscores, make sure you have those 3 underscores. If you've got capitals, make sure the capitals are there.
If you use a 0 for an O.
If you use a 0 for an O, exactly. I want it exactly as it appears on Twitch.
All right.
Now, and then I need your physical shipping address.
Yes. And you've gotten people, right, that have said, hey, I won stuff, my name is X, and just,
Yeah.
and we don't know who Ben Hurdy is.
Correct.
And we don't know which Twitch person he is, and we
Correct.
don't know where to ship anything.
Correct.
Yeah.
None, all of those things. It definitely happens. So, and those are our winners.
Well,
So
there you go.
let me set up a raid here real quick. Why don't you entertain
Well,
them for a
congrats to
second?
everybody. Merry Christmas to everybody. Y'all have fun tonight and stay safe. It'll be a lot of fun. It's been a good year, and hopefully it's a good Christmas. And I forgot the handle of who's in the hospital, but really, Godspeed, stay with it. Just keep in the fight.
Planar Crossroads.
Planar Crossroads. So they're right there. Your Twitch handle and your physical address, Planar Crossroads. Well, you stay safe and stay after them.
There's actually not a whole lot of people streaming since I assume it's Christmas
Yeah,
Eve.
do Justin a favor and put your handle in the subject line. That would work. Yeah.
Actually, that is
That's,
a huge
help, yeah.
bonus. If you want to do that, I'm not going to require it. That would be amazing, though. If you guys put your handle in the subject line.
And keep us updated, Planar.
Ed, I need you to stall.
Oh, okay. Well, Justin's going to go skiing, and he's not going to ski, but he says he's going to ski.
Hey,
He's going to stay on the bunny slope.
Actually, I want to point this out real quick.
Okay.
There is someone just streaming a jar of peanut butter, and there's 65 people watching it. It's just a jar of
Okay,
peanut
I'll
butter.
get off. Is that weird? Because I'm sorry, I was.
I don't. Yeah. That is weird, Ed. That is. I don't know why.
I didn't know. Okay. Well, that's like the time we had the shop. We were pulling orders, and Justin came out. We were over there pulling Kickstarter, and he goes, "Oh, I can set a Twitch stream up of this," but no one could interact with it. No one could talk with it, and the discussion was, no one is going to show up. And Justin was assuring us somebody would show up, and we had about 45 people. And since there wasn't interaction, they didn't know whose name was anybody. So they would give everybody nicknames as they saw them walking around. Like Ron became Muscle Man or Muscle Shirt or something like that, kind of a thing.
I'm trying to remember what they called. What did they call Cindy? It was not Cindy. It was like, not Rhonda. It was like I don't know, something. Collins remembers because they
Yeah.
give Collins a name too.
Yeah, they gave everybody a name, and it was really interesting though that that people had time to watch that. We've often talked about putting just cameras up here in the shop that people could dial into. And but that's sort of a lot of the people that work here, the social employees, they get a little creepy.
All right. Well, there's
We're in the
our
raid.
there's our raid, guys. Go ahead and share the Reaper love. They're
Merry
painting, I
Christmas,
believe.
have fun, get out there,
And stay
share
safe.
some cheer.
Yes. Share some cheer and cheer. All right, guys. You
We'll see you Thursday night.
you have a Merry Christmas and keep being awesome.
Do we get like an ending?
Yeah, you're ending right now.
Wow.